Guys, funding secured. We now know how NIO's going to get the money to be able to live and thrive. And this is absolutely like fantastic news. And holy crap, this is good, man. And it's actually genius. But first, we got a global free giveaway for you guys. There's going to be 3 winners and absolutely free anywhere in the world. You'll be getting this. So, of course, I'll be giving away first a new house brick set, which is very nice. This was actually given to me by NIO for selling NIO vehicles. Okay. And then another one. This is the other prize that you could potentially win. Clean Parts glass cup. So these are NIO stuff. Of course, I will be handling the shipping fees, etc. And there's actually going to be another prize, which is $100 US. All of this is completely free. It's a completely free giveaway. All you have to do is sign up for our new newsletter. And this is a weekly newsletter called viralstocks.io, where every week you're going to get an email about some of the cool stocks that you could take a look at. So I'll leave the link up here. Okay, you can click that, sign up to be entered for the giveaway. The link will also be in the description down below and also in the pinned comments. So definitely take this opportunity. Just sign up for the newsletter. That's all it takes. You know, you don't have to pay anything. It's completely free. All right. And then in about a few weeks' time, we will be choosing the winners and I'll be sending this out. Right. And also we'll be contacting you via your email from that newsletter. Okay. So definitely go sign up. So what is this funding secured? So NIO is going to essentially spin off its chip division. All right. And this new company is going to, well, here's that's what the new company is. All right. This new company called NIO Shinji, that has majority ownership from NIO. NIO owns the majority of it. And then, of course, the chip team, the guys developing the chip, they also have minor ownership of that. And then there's also going to be outside investment into this chip company, which is where that money comes from, which will go to NIO. NIO will sell part of ownership of that chip company to outside investors for money. And then they will go public. All right. And that's how it's going to work. I mean, like, absolutely crazy, right? Of course, William Lee is a genius in terms of being able to finance, to get money and all that kind of stuff. I mean, back then in 2019, when the whole entire situation happened, he was able to come out with that Hefei deal where the Hefei government sort of essentially bailed them out. But this is a very genius way. And what we do know for a fact right now, you know, the stats speak for itself. NIO's chip is at the top of the tier 1 chips, and it is actually better than the Thor U that's coming to some of the competitors' vehicles. And of course, you know, you heard me say this time and time again, like one NX9031 chip is equivalent to 4 ORNX chip, which brings down the cost, brings up the energy efficiency, so you're able to get longer range. And then on top of that, not just the autonomous driving chip, they also have the LiDAR chip inside. So this is all part of that chip company, which would sort of directly compete with NVIDIA and of course, you know, sell these chips to other car companies. And from what I heard is that the funding is secured. There are outside investors that are, you know, going to do this, and it's pretty much in the bag. So this is definitely good news. And part of my bullish thesis was the fact that NIO software, the own self-developed software, which isn't based on Android or Linux, it's ground up self-developed, that potentially being licensed. And then on top of that, of course, battery swap being licensed. We're still waiting for the cars to be launched. We know that Chery's vehicles that can swap at NIO's battery swap stations have already been photographed, and it's already out there, but it's not launched yet. So that is also part of the bullish thesis. And then, of course, the chip, all right, the chip, which even better than NVIDIA's chip, which is mind-blowing just to think about it, that selling those chips to automakers here in China, whether it's because automakers choose this chip or whether it's because, the US has some sort of restriction on NVIDIA sales here in China, which they do have, but not for their NVIDIA Thor chips yet. But if they do have that, well, that's more business for NIO, right? So those really line up for my bullish thesis in the long term. However, this introduces an interesting curveball because now that chip company is its own individual entity, right? It's no longer part of NIO Group, so to speak. It has its own company. It's going to go public by itself, and of course, NIO will be a benefactor of some of the proceeds and some of the earnings of the chip company, but of course not all the earnings. But I think this is very genius because this is where the value lies. There's tremendous value in the chip company, and the chip company spin-off going public, this whole smart 2000 IQ move, that is going to really give a lot of money to NIO to produce a new lifeline. And by having the chip company go public, NIO might also sell a little bit more of their ownership in the chip company when that happens, and that will also generate some more money for NIO as well. So this is gonna be very, very nice, and we kind of know how going forward they might do more dilution, and I've said in the past that shortening the payment period to suppliers definitely does put strain on their balance sheet and cash balance. But, they still might have to do dilution. But this definitely seems like a very good way to get money, an alternative to dilution, because I don't want to see new stock be diluted even further. And this is pretty smart. All right, leveraging what has the most amount of value. So it's not just the NX9031 chip. It's also their next chip that they're working on. It's also the LiDAR chip that they have. All of that is going to be part of the chip company, and of course the chip development team. So this is sort of like NVIDIA, all right. But we'll have to see. Does the chip company also down the line manufacture other chips, maybe for mobile phones and stuff like that, to compete with even Qualcomm and that kind of stuff? That would be very interesting. Is it only going to be autonomous driving chips? Because if it's a chip company by itself, you would assume that they make more than just simply car chips, right? So that would be pretty amazing. And yeah, very, very nice. And don't forget, guys, sign up for the giveaway. All right, we got the massive giveaway completely free. Links up and down below. Do that right now. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out.